Hey everybody, this is Bradley Benner with Semantic Mastery and Mastery PR, and we have Pavel on with us today from SiteWyz and SiteWyz. He was on with us last week and gave us an awesome webinar about SiteWyz, which I'll be dropping a link to the replay in that in the comment section here shortly, guys, in case anybody missed that. It was a fabulous webinar, and so we brought him back on to talk about SiteWyz today. And so first, say hello, Pavel. How are you?
Hi guys, I'm good. So I'm all excited and looking forward for the webinar.
Well, thanks for coming on again, man. We certainly appreciate it. And we have Marco and Chris on in the background for moral support. What's up, guys?
Hey, what's up, man?
And we're not going to waste any time because the last webinar we had went like 2 hours. We got a bunch of people registered already. So we're going to get right into it, guys. If you have any audio or video issues, don't sweat it. We're going to send the replay out, okay? So don't freak out. But we're going to hand it right over to Pavel and let him get right into it and not waste any time. So I'm going to hand it to you, Pavel. The floor is yours.
Hi, thank you. Thank you, Bradley. I kind of plan to run it for about an hour, so I might be off a little bit. But my intention again, so it's kind of find a balance between the technical implementation for SiteWyz because and overall the idea and the concept, why we do this, and how what kind of benefits you might get from using SiteWyz. So whether you are in PBNs, whether you're thinking to run a PBN, or you just practicing SEO and would like to be up to date with everything that's going on with SEO, it's probably I hope that's going to be beneficial. So that I kind of spent several days putting the slides together. So again, jumping between technical details and overall idea for the what works nowadays with SEO and what doesn't. And I guess one is important part is because considering the dynamic nature of SEO is that what used to be working just recently and not ineffective or it might be even sometimes dangerous with the recent changes. So SiteWyz, like there's a title, the ultimate PBN solution. So they, unlike SiteWyz, that was, and again, so kind of Bradley and Tim, thank you for inviting me the last week for the webinar. So for introducing SiteWyz. SiteWyz had a long history and it was evolving, like from the idea it was created to the where it is now. SiteWyz was created with PBN in mind. So the solution for PBN, so SiteWyz had the content solution for PBN. The content had monitoring solution for PBN. So there are a lot of backlinking solutions for PBN, but there's a missing link for PBN. It is the hosting, of course, hosting and the ability to quickly create networks. So SiteWyz started, that was created last year. That was for quite a long time there in the kind of semi-private mode for SiteWyz users only. And now it's kind of growing. So as I started promoting it more. So we have 3,500 domains in the system. So, and it's growing. That's I guess was the quick history of SiteWyz. It was created with the idea of creating the system specifically for PBN. There's a trade-off of different solutions for PBN, and of course 95% of PBNs are running on WordPress. It's a fantastic CMS. It's easy to use. It's once you master it, it's easy to configure. But the sites like I don't know what's the biggest probably example. Like there are tons of big, large examples like the Yahoo Finance. I didn't prepare for this, but I'm sure that tons of huge sites running on WordPress, and this is where the strengths. When you come to the idea of running hundreds of small sites, so WordPress and often an overkill. So with the database backend, with the security issues, with the needs to update, with the plugins, like everything what you do for one site, when you say that it's fantastic, that it's easy, with the knowledge you need, changes when you talk about 50 or 100 or even more sites. So there's if let's say you need to update a site once a month, and you have 100 sites, that's it's a part-time job of managing this network. So what is PBN? PBN, of course, stands for Private Block Network, and the term became popular. It's I need to look up, but my feeling, looking back to the history, probably back like immediately after Penguin. So what Penguin did? Penguin introduced the bring the domain authority like in a big way factor. The domain authority became huge factor, and the Google, of course, shifted the overall value domain authority toward domain authority to fight the one-pager sites to get them off the search results. So as soon as Google introduced the kind of like not introduced, the became value more of the domain authority. So like for those who remember the beginning of private block networks, they weren't really private. They were kind of shared block networks, and there were quite a few huge networks that were popular, like BMR, Build My Rank is one. There are a few others. They became so popular so that they definitely started affecting the overall SERP results. I personally knew like hundreds and hundreds of people who were using Build My Rank, and it's probably the true to say otherwise. Like it's probably like majority of the commercial terms were using one way or another networks like Build My Rank. It was so easy. And of course, what came next was the so-called PBN slap. So, like, I mean, the discussion that PBN is dead goes back to probably 2012 or 11. I don't remember exact times when there was the BMR slap, and there's so many sites went down. My personal network of the coupon and deal sites went down because I was too relaxed of using those shared networks. So this was the beginning. So of course over time the concept of PBN was changing, and one of the biggest boosts to PBN was the discovery of the idea of scraping expired domains. Before, let's say 5 years ago, it was a treasure. Like the expired the domain you would buy from the domain broker would worth at least several $100s. So you have to kind of get in contact, you have to transfer these domains over, but then someone smart discovered so that you can scrape on a massive scale the expired domains and check the metrics, and all of a sudden the domain the tons of great the ACO domains flooded the market. So now you have lots of systems and a lot of vendors selling them in the Facebook and forums with the decent metrics, reasonably priced. So all of a sudden, the cost of the PBN that was mainly high because of the high price of the expired domain went down and became affordable. So the PBN in the original idea worked for years, and no matter what anyone says that PBN are dead, my understanding that majority of ACO companies, ACO agencies are running huge networks. So there are different applications for them. So nobody said that they use exactly the same way, but the fact that owning the property is the asset in SEO nowadays is the fact. So the how PBN evolved over time. When it's all started, the main metrics were the dominating factor. So like you find a good domain metrics, your domain, the expired domain with the good domain metrics, you literally do nothing after that. So you set up a site, you put several articles, somewhat theme related, you put a link right on the homepage, done. So everyone was doing this. The local search results were dominating by the sites backed by very rudimental PBNs. And of course, every year, if you look at the predictions for SEO, every year the prediction was that the PBN will stop working. So there are the top three that probably goes from year to year is that exact match domains will stop working, redirects will stop working, and PBNs will stop working. So we have somewhat finally, after years and years, EMD domains are not as effective any longer. Although people who use EMDs just claim that it's still working great, but redirects and PBN is still going strong. But of course, PBN evolved, and the main evolution of PBN is that it's not domain only. So you have to treat your PBN in the form of you treat your main site. In order to have the site to have successful nowadays, you need to have relevancy, you need to have an authority, and you need to have traffic. Same is true for any other properties you have. So if you build a PBN, it's not any longer about just having a domain. It's also about having relevant content and traffic. So again, so it's very short kind of overview of evolution. So I skipped the kind of idea of what it is, but so I want to we can go back to the topic of general PBN knowledge at the end of the webinar if there will be questions, because I want to make sure that we have enough time to go through all steps. So the PBN, so after we talk about how good PBN is, of course, the next would be PBN risks and footprints and myths. If you do search for PBN risks, if you do search for PBN footprints, you'll find dozens and dozens of them. So when you have so many people running their own lists, and of course they need to come up every time with something new to amuse the audience. So sooner or later, if you observe all of those lists of footprints, sooner or later you'll come up with your own the final list of myths regarding PBN. So they all come together because there's so much mystery around PBNs, and if you look at the some of the footprints that people claim, and of course everyone come up with the bigger and bigger lists, which make it's just some probably believe that it's just terrible thing to do. It's extremely complex. So many things you need to know, and of course it starts with the IP and hosting, so that whether you need unique IPs, whether you need unique C-class IPs, B-class IP, or A-class IP. I've seen all of those requests. How you need to have a variety of hostings, good hostings, bad hostings, shared hostings. Why do you need to avoid SEO hostings? Well, I put class X is just as I said. So there's no agreement regarding the what kind of class IP you need to have in your PBN. So similar CMS considered a footprint, and again, so it's easy to justify because overall, majority of the small sites running on WordPress, so that it's easy to say that having all sites on WordPress is as a footprint. Similar templates, similar set of plugins for WordPress considered a footprint. There are a lot of variations of footprints related to name servers, like whether you need to have unique name servers for every block on your network, whether you need to have private name servers. The specific records, MS records, it's related to mail exchange record. Whether you need to, and there are like some footprints that goes totally in ridiculous kind of zone, so that like whether it's dangerous to send a list of PBNs over email, having them in the shared Google Docs because Google has access to your spreadsheets and so on and so on. So to briefly go back to this type of lists, I personally don't see a huge impact of anything of above I mentioned. That's probably there is some impact, and again, so if you look, let's say, in the Matt Diggery's research, he probably quoted someone. I don't remember. He probably quoted someone who did the comprehensive test of PBNs running in different type of hosting, the VPS type premium hosting, premium shared hosting, cheap shared hosting, and cheap and ACO hosting, and there are like numbers that varies whether like of course drawing the reader towards the premium hostings for PBN. But if you look on from other sides, so the number of the index sites for all of the hostings are on in the single digits. So it would be that terrible that you probably will see the difference in the indexing like dramatic, like might be, let's say, ACO hosting might go like 5 times more the index sites versus the premium host. If you look at the numbers, they vary, and they kind of drawn reader toward the using a prime hosting, but they're not that big. Plus, I would say that I personally don't know, never heard about any hosting company. Would it be the premium or cheap hosting company, or even ACO hosting that was de-indexed completely? Like you can tell by the website of the hosting company that if it's used for there's typical argument: the premium hosting used by gazillions of regular sites and cheap hosting used for by PBNs or affiliate, the networks only. It's not true. There's no single indicator. I don't know the fact when the ACO company was de-indexed entirely. But of course, there is a factor of diversified IPs. Of course, there's a diversified IPs, and this is if probably would be the Google will create it now. They probably will. I kind of suspect they would probably ignore the fact whether the links are coming from same IP or different class IPs. But I would say that the having different C class IP is a valid request, because it's in the long time in the Google algorithm. So anything above of this, let's say B class or A class, like you have to realize that's only 255 A class IPs and networks overall in the internet. So that it's absolutely ridiculous to expect that every link is coming from unique class IP site. Plus, the same people who claim that the PBN must be in, let's say, different A class IP network, going after dozens and hundreds of so-called social signals that are coming only from 3-4 major sites, and they work. We know that it doesn't really matter. It never hurt you to have too many, let's say, Twitter links. And they come in from all the same side. So down to the risks, manual review, in my opinion, the biggest risk for PBN, manual review, and risk of being reported. Whenever you use your PBN to rank any sites, you have to be always ready so that someone will analyze your network and report it. Google made it extremely easy to report sites that are using purchase links. And there's a way to report the network that exists only for the sake of promoting the doing what's called manipulating the search results. And in my opinion, the biggest risk for PBN and that goes only in manual review or being reported. I don't see indication that anything else is really matters that much. So let's say name servers. I can have 100 sites using the default Namecheap name servers, and I don't see any danger. Like, I mean, you have to know that I don't remember exact number, but let's assume there is 1 trillion websites. It's too big of the number to analyze all of those sites and group them together by a number of by sites using this exact same number of plugins for WordPress. I wouldn't be surprised if Google has something for something like manual grader or something like a tool I never heard about, but I would not surprise if Google will have something available for manual reviewers. So when they pull up the site and they can tell that, well, there's some indication that would be taken by the manual reviewer into consideration, whether there is like indication that link the site is using purchase links or not. But I absolutely positive so that there's nothing of this happening automatically when Google process links, process the like overall process backlinks. So with Google moving into RankBrain, as Mike Pierce said, I would love to have Google moving into automatically assessing my site, because they will move away from manually assessing sites. So it's easy to deal with automatic. If you figure out automatic algorithm how they like assess site, whether it's good or bad, it's always better than deal with someone who just does it manually. So my top PBN risk and footprint are different from what you find on typical list. First is extremely thin content. Like majority of PBNs still look in the way they are recommended by any like PBN courses back in 2014. So they usually go a long way discussing these like footprints and how to configure plugins and everything. And after that, they said, well, you go order the articles. 3 articles is enough. You put the link to the site you want to promote on the homepage. So the extremely thin content, that's an indication of PBN. Homepage links. Well, while the homepage link is extremely powerful compared to other inner pages because they inherit the power of the root domain. So they having the like if you open up the blog, like let's call it the main site, and you see that it has 3 articles and it says that how good the something about benefits of having a good doctor in Toronto, and there is a one backlink right from the middle goes to the some dentist site. So like, make no mistake that this is PBN. In many cases, you don't even need to check where the links is going. This is PBN. There's obviously, again, just for manual reviewers, so it's obvious when you see the unmatched domain name. There are a lot of domains, especially in the old days, where we're having keywords in the name, and of course, if you see something like about insurance in the domain for the site that is running dental blog, so that will be an indication that it's just unmatched, and that's all above combined into this no reason to exist argument. So like when someone reviews the site, they will think why someone would put the site up and spend time and keep for paying for the hosting. So why the site exists? So if you want to mimic the PBN, if you want to hide the PBN, you need to kind of show that there is a reason for the site to exist. Would it be the running the lead generation pop-ups? So like even if it's fake pop-ups, they will kind of lead to believe someone who just opened the site that this site exists for the reason. Like lead generation pop-ups is a great way to tell why the site exists. Banners, the promotions that might be promotions that you might run on the network, even they not real, will suggest that this site has reason to exist. And of course, if it's some blog with some personal touch, let's say journey, my travel journey blog. So you open the journey blog. So even if it's the articles, like what the posts one after another, you think, well, that's just some blog that is about, let's say, how beautiful life in Toronto is. So it's a definitely valid reason to have a blog up. So PBN in 2017, I'll just that's very quick. So so far, the single indication of quality for PBN was, or let's put it other way, the single indication that PBN is bad is the fact that PBN is being de-indexed. So it's easy, and it's kind of in a way as easy as it used to be when we had PR, page rank. So now, like when you're someone running PBN, they check that PBN is if PBN is de-indexed, it's bad. Assuming that if PBN is indexed, it's good. Only after Google will stop de-indexing sites, we will realize how easy it was to have indexing as an indication of PBN health. Imagine, let's say, if now, and I'm pretty sure this is where Google moving on, so they will stop killing sites like de-indexing, especially manual de-indexing, especially after last fall they announced the Penguin 4 that they will start devaluing links in real time. So instead of de-indexing them, instead of penalizing the size. So I personally think that they will not devaluing links. They will adding the value to the links when they see the traffic going through those links. So like if, let's say, you created a PBN, you make few posts, you get them indexed, and you don't have the indexing as an indication of the healthy how healthy your PBN is, so probably going to be lost. It's working or not or not, you don't know what it is. So the indicate the same as if with money side, the relevancy, authority, and traffic is the factor you need to consider when you build your PBN, and they all comes to ranking. So this is the criteria I've been preaching for a long time, ranking. So if you see your PBN ranking, the same as I said for the Web2 networks and overall the other networks, if you see your properties ranking for your keywords, they're good. So what is the best link you have? Let's say if you can have a link from any site. So what would it be the best site to get a link from if you're looking to promote Toronto Dentist? Of course, it will be the site that is ranking number one for Toronto Dentist. So this is the most authoritative site in the specific niche. What if you build a network and they all ranking? All of a sudden, so this is the power you can apply to any site. So because Google already recognized the authority of this, the opposite is also true. If you have a PBN and you have 5 posts in there, and you have all 5 indexed, is it good enough or not for PF for PB as a PBN to be used? So like, can you benefit from a link from this type of domain? So there are different strategies to this. Again, so one of this is one of the strategies that is extremely popular. Not extremely popular. It's popular. Is to use its temporary to check if you can lift any random site in the niche. So if you can, so it means the domain is good. then you remove the link and replace it with a link to the site you want to promote. It makes a lot of sense, but I think the best way is still to monitor ranking of your network, because let's say you got a domain and you have a good pre-existing backlinking profile, and you test it with some random sites, and you can see that it boosted the site like from page X to page 2, like literally in a few days. That's a good domain. So then you replace the link, you point to your site. You will not see when the value might for some reason go down of your PBN. While if you monitor and rank in your PBN, you know for sure if your network is good, and you don't need to rank them for the as competitive keywords as you trying to rank your client or your own site. So like the long tail keyword, but extremely relevant to the main keyword will do. Like if a domain name can be considered even brand, let's say Branquiz, or any other domain, like you don't need to make it a brand. But if you're not ranking even for the name of the domain without TLD, that's a big concern. No matter what, it's a big concern. And of course, it's better if you rank them in combination. Like might be, let's say, again, so like Branquiz dentist. Let's say the domain name with combination with the keyword. So like if the Branquiz would be the site on the dental niche, so of course it will. I would not expect it to be run for dentist, but a combination of the domain name and the several niche keywords should get the site ranking, and you can monitor your ranking. So what to expect from PBN solutions? So we're now getting closer to SiteWyz. What to expect from PBN solutions? And of course, it's easy to justify the PBN from the price point. Let's say you put in how much it will cost you to put up a PBN and how much you can get from your PBN. So let's say if you're using the old school, let's call it quote unquote old school approach. You have 20 sites, you bought them, you need to host them, and you have no time. You probably pay, let's say, 300. Like there are a lot of posts that says we will do beautiful site for you with all configuration, with the 5 long manual articles, strictly on topic, and that will be $400. Let's say. So 10 domains will cost you $4,000. You will have 4 quote unquote beautiful sites. This is $4,000. Now you need to justify $4,000 you invested in the PBN. So if you again use the old school approach, so that's from these 10 domains, you put the link to your client site right on the homepage. You probably try to utilize it a little bit more, but will not post too many links. So that's basically it. You invested $4,000 in the PBN, so now you need to get as much value from this PBN. So of course, if the price of the PBN goes down and the work you put at the time you need to spend on build out, of course you need to factor in time. So if after you launch your, let's say, 100 domain PBN, it becomes your full-time job, you need to factor in the time you spend in working with your PBN. So it's like whether you're selling links or you have too many clients. So again, old school PBN would be the let's say professional PBN, the professional type of PBN. So like someone say, oh, I have a travel PBN, I have a dentist PBN, I have a lawyer PBN. So it's probably like one of few common, like so people run in old days like gazillions of lawyer PBNs. Well, because lawyer, it's extremely lucrative niche and it's easy to build. But when you go to the clients that are not as expensive and not willing to pay that much, you might think, well, it's not as easy to justify that tremendous investment in a PBN. So what to expect from PBN, and that's the principle we put in when we build SiteWyz. So it's automated process as much as possible, automated process of creating the network. and creating sites. Management and monitoring. So you need to see how healthy your PBM. So you need to at least get an easy indication of indexing, ranking, uptime metrics. So you of course need to deal with hostings. So the solution should take care of the hosting for you. And as I say, that content and backlinks is a big part of the healthy PBM, so that you should expect this to be somewhat solved with the PBN solution. So SiteWyz overview. So create network, create a site, create sites in bulk, configure sites, pre-populate content, enable backlinking, send traffic. Finally, we get into PBN, to SiteWyz. This is the homepage of the SiteWyz. Everything is organized in a network. So you can run one network, you can run multiple networks for your clients. So this is on the top, you will see all the hostings we run. So we have combination of VPS hostings and shared hosting accounts. So you can see they spread over the world, and by design, SiteWyz guarantees that every site in the network will be deployed on unique server and will have unique C-class IP. So it's completely on the background. You don't need to worry about. So once you start with the SiteWyz, you create a network. You'll see that all networks, you can create a network, and the network is nothing but grouping of your all sites. And once you have a network, you start adding sites in your network. So you go to sites. Let's say I have electrical sites. And you can see general stats on the network, how many sites I have, how many of them deployed, how many of them have unique IPs, how many of them indexed, non-indexed. So this is my test network. See that. So unique C, B, and A class blocks. So we do not guarantee the unique B and A class blocks, but the deployment algorithm uses the logic, so that first it tries to build give you unique the server that gives you unique A class, then B, and after that C class. But after all, so it's just guaranteed C class IP. So you can see the list of sites, and you can see that if I'll go to sites, I'll see them all. So we have well, of course, my network, because it's a test, is not as big, but you can see that we have domain authority, page authority, those most metrics, citation and trust flow. This is Majestic, ADR and AUR. This is a domain, and this is URL ranking. This is hrefs. We have indexing. We have a number of posts made on the site. So when you create a new site, so you enter the name. Let's say test. That's not test. Test one. So you give it a title. Title. Tagline. So you select from the theme. So you select whether you want to create the pages, contact us, terms of service, and privacy policy, and click. And you can see that site is created. You can immediately preview it. Here it is, the site. So preview is running from our server. When you deploy it, so then it will be propagated to the hosting. So we can create a site. You can configure site. If you go to the site configuration, you'll see that we have many options that are generally available with the WordPress, but it's useful for SEO, the keywords, description, theme, whether you want to have sticky posts, the permalink, so the network. So we have theme options. So we have widgets similar to the WordPress has recent posts, categories, archives. So you can block crawling bots. So by default they block, but they can change. You can change it. So we have advanced redirects. I will get back to this later on. Redirects, lead generation. So we have tools, and these are import from WordPress again. So this is not WordPress, but it's easy to migrate WordPress blog from to SiteWyz. We have an import. So once you set up, we have categories. Similar to the idea of WordPress. Let's say if I'll go test one. We have posts, pages, and of course we have hosting. So when you go to hosting, so you enter the domain of the you want it to be installed on. You select how you want to deploy. Because we have deployment, we run our own servers. We use shared hostings like HostGator, so like about 20 different shared hostings. We also support Cloudflare. So if you want to hide, mask your servers. And once you set up your domain, you just click deploy, and the system will propagate all the changes on your hosting. So I'm not doing this. I will just rather go to the site that's already deployed, and we'll see how it works. So basically, you can see that it's easy to create the site. Let's say if domain will be, I can select whether I want to enforce WW version or non-WW version. Again, so if you use expired domains, it's worth checking Majestic or Wayback Machine. How was the site was running? Because usually the version if let's say the site was running on WW subdomain, so the WW has more power, so that you better use WW. If it was running on root domain, so that you don't, there's no value of running WW version, so you better enforce non-WW version. So so you click update. And you can see that system allows me to click a deploy. And at this moment, the background process selects the server and copies all changes to the remote hosting. That's it. So you can see that this is the updates I need to make in my registrar to update name servers. And this is the as much as I need to do. From now on, any changes I do to the site will be automatically in the background propagated to this server. Pre-populate the content. So of course it's good to, as soon as you deploy the site, to post the content. But this is usually the part that many left to the next step. So when you select a domain, when you create a site, when you deploy it in the hosting, you think, okay, let's put the first post that says welcome to my blog, and I will come back with the post later. Indeed, in order to start get this blog indexing, so you don't need to spend to create extremely relevant articles. So what we have here is you go to posts and you have pre-populate content button, post content, and it's powered by Runquiz, and you can select preset content. Let's say if I'll do carpet cleaning and say how many posts you have, let's say 5. So it might take time, but system will call Runquiz to generate articles and make those posts to the site. So let's see if it's not there. So we'll check it later. It's not yet. So and it will pre-populate the content on the site. So next, backlinking. So if you have your own solution like RunQuiz, so that's great. So you can create very complex link building strategy for your PBN. But again, in order to start simple flow backlinks, relevant backlinks, you can enable this from SiteWyz, even if you don't have a RunQuiz solution. So on the network level, you have backlinks. If you click on the backlinks, you said, settings. On the project level, I said enable auto backlinking. I will just create the generic topic. I will select the topic and I'll say how many random posts per site sent for backlinking daily, and the anchors. Of course, this is not advanced backlinking, but it's easy. It doesn't even require you to have RunQuiz account. So you said, I want from every site to have one post to send for backlinking using those anchors, electrical services, and then system will automatically build backlinks using RunQuiz shared networks. You can see that it continuously building backlinks for my network. I set it up like over a year ago. I going back to this network because it's my test network only when I do webinars and show the SiteWyz, but yet every day I can see that one backlink for random post on my blog created. The link velocity is extremely important. So if you need to continuously build small set of backlinks to any property. So if you want to show that this is alive, so if you want to drive even if you're not posting more content to your site, you need to build at least small amount of backlinks. Well, of course, you need to make Google crawl those backlinks, and the RunQuiz shared networks is a good solution because we maintain them, we post, and we do all the best to index them. We also send them to backlink indexing. So this is basics SiteWyz overview, and of course that's just overview. Pros and cons SiteWyz before we go any further. First of all, this is not a WordPress. I repeated this so many times, yet it's so engraved in many's mind, so that there's no internet outside of WordPress, and it's still kind of question pops over and over again: how to install plugins, if there is a backend login. SiteWyz creates HTML sites. So you create them in SiteWyz, then you click deploy, so it copies over HTML. So they fast, they optimized, and there's no database on the background. So if you're looking to create a site to attract, might be your visitors, might be and you're looking for kind of variety of themes and variety of the configuration, so SiteWyz might be not in the best answer for this. But so SiteWyz was created with the idea of running launching large networks quickly. Again, bringing down the cost of ownership for the overall PBN. So once you deploy, let's say you have your domains, so you buy it somewhere else. You buy your domains, you launch, you spend literally a couple of hours, and you launch your 50 domains PBN. You post the content, so you start backlinking with RunQuiz, and you come back to SiteWyz, and 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you have them all blogs reindexed, ready for backlinking. So the overall time you spend for the network is minimal, and this was the main target of SiteWyz. So this is not a WordPress, so there's no flexibility of WordPress, there's no complexity of WordPress, no need for data backup. So main concern for any established sites, the data backup. So it's not relevant with the SiteWyz. So we literally click on deploy on the site, select another server, click deploy, and your server moved to another location. So no need for update, for security updates, no security concerns, no hacking, like all advantages of HTML sites. And if such a footprint as WordPress sites only, which is, I have to tell that I kind of not a big fan of this idea, so that Google really believes that if all backlinks are coming from WordPress sites, this is a footprint. But if such a concern exists, so that SiteWyz will give you a variety of non-WordPress sites. So too early for questions. Pros and cons of SiteWyz. Now SiteWyz Advanced. So half of those topics can be run into separate webinars. So I'll go quickly because there are many advanced features. And let's start one by one. See, I was kind of continuously decreasing the font of the list to make sure that I fit them all in one page. Rewrite themes. You can go to the site, and the typical concern that we don't have enough themes, we need to have more and more themes. So we implemented the idea of rewriting themes. So basically, you rename the theme, and if you look at the HTML code, once you deploy, you can't really tell technically if this is the same theme or different. So you rename the media folder, you rename the theme, so it becomes a different theme. So you go to the SEO, I think it's theme. Here it is. General settings. You can rename theme folder, you can rename media folder, and technically it becomes a different theme because the all links inside are changing. Page shortcuts, privacy. So we have shortcuts that generate privacy. You can see, you saw that I created the new site. Was it? I forgot the network where I put it in, but basically the idea of the shortcuts is, let's say I'll show this. So when you create the site, you can select to generate terms of service, privacy, contact us page. Oh, here it is. So the test site. If you go to the page. You can see the code contact form. So we have several shortcuts for privacy, for the term of service, and that helps to create the pages you need that is considered essential for the site. Internalization of images. So this is a big one. One of the indication of the scraped site is hot linked images. So basically, if your content is hot linked, it's been reported several times that will be considered as a fact. If Google will try to tell if this content is scraped, they will be considering that images are hot linked. So let's say if I'll go to the site, one of the site. All the content is posted with the run quiz. But if I'll go to, let's say, I don't know, this one. No, it's fine. So, let's say this image, I open the image. You can see that image is local to the site. So this is that's easy implementation, but it's huge benefit. So you can of course achieve the same with the WordPress plugins that will localize the images. So with the SiteWyz, it happens automatically. So all the content you post from outside, if they have reference to external links, the images that will be localized, internalized, localizing images. Blocking crawling bots. So you have an option with the configuration that says if you want to block the crawling bots or not, and by default is on. So crawling bots blocking, it's would be the Ahrefs, Majestic, and other bots. And there are like different opinions on this, whether you should block them or shoot them open. I absolutely positive that you should block them, even if it might be like, as some suggest, will be some suspicious that all of the sites have blocking bots. The main danger, as I said, is to being reported. And if anyone will analyze backlinks of your clients, the first they will look at the Majestic, and you better not have your PBN listed there. So there's a bigger chance to get reported than running into some weird the possibility of some weird footprint. So you have an option with the as I said, by default it's disabled with SiteWyz. Block crawling bots. You also can block the site from indexing. So there's a configuration how to handle missing pages. Dynamic text. This is a big one. So we introduced the configuration. I don't have actual. I probably do, but kind of want to make it short. So the whole idea that how to continue bringing bots to your PBN. Like I absolutely positive that you have to get fresh content to your PBN to consider to be active. You have to build backlinks. You have to bring more content. One of the approach is continuously posting new content. Another one is updating existing pages. Like while the other system allow you to do post more the more content, SiteWyz only allows you to easily customize your content with existing content with the dynamic snippets. So we introduced shortcodes that allow to refresh every 7 days. Allow you to refresh every 7 days and bring new content, mimicking updated page. I think this is welcome to one. So this is the post I created when here it is. Look at the welcome page. It says code image keyword yoga, code text keyword yoga, code video keyword yoga. If I'll do the preview, actually I don't need to do preview. I can open up the site. Here it is, the actual site. You can see that, of course, this is technical content, but ever since we implemented this, I can see the spike, the much greater the crawling of the site because the homepage is updated every 7 days. So we have the ability to customize the pages, important pages you want to tell that are active for. And you can use those shortcodes. As I said, so you enter keywords. So we have shortcodes for image, text, video, news, social update. So you enter them. So like you don't need to, this is extreme example. You might have your text static, but you might say video on yoga, I want to be dynamic. Every 7 days, you will have new YouTube video. It's powered by Runquiz. And you don't need to have Runquiz account. It's just on the back end. So you use your content and it will use dynamic snippets. Redirects. So I see that I'm just running out of time again, so I will speed up a bit. So redirect. So you saw this configuration for general redirects. We also have advanced redirects, and we have several options. Static redirect is dissimilar to what you have when you want to redirect complete site. So we have dynamic redirect, and this is conditional redirect. So if, let's say, you run in your PBN and you want to say that I will continue making new posts, but I don't need really 400 posts on my PBN. Once my posts are indexed and have some authority, and I assume that if I'll build in a simple way, you can assume that you have build authority if you continue posting backlinks, posting content. You might say that I want my older than 6 month pages to be redirected to the homepage or to the category. This is powerful strategy when you aggregate the low level, let's say considering silo structure, you redirect low pages low in the silo to the higher pages, whether to root or to the category page. So you also can make it to redirect only ranking pages. So SiteWyz has built-in rank tracker, and you might say that I will be building backlinks to my network with the intention to have them ranking. But as soon as they rank, i.e. getting authority, I want to redirect them. This will be dynamic 301 redirect. And we have smart redirect. So this is advanced strategy when you have redirect based on referral. So think of the simple strategy. Let's say you build the press release to your page, and you build a press release, and after that you turn it into the smart redirect. You said that based on the referral, I want to do random redirect. So, and that will be doing redirect, like if bot came from the abc.com, abcnews.com, the system will save the referral and always use and save the map from the random from the referral to the random redirect. It's a little bit complex without the diagram, but let's say I have 10 redirects and I run the press release, and after that, I enable smart redirect. The if bot first time came from the abcnews.com, system will create random map from the referral to the random redirect, and will always use it. It becomes static. So basically, you can turn one target into multiple redirects. I don't know if I should have kind of done it in this fast, so it's. Well, hopefully it makes sense, at least for those who are technically advanced. So subdomains is huge. So like, let's say if you have, what is a subdomain? So technically, like, what is Web 2? Web 2 is a subdomain on the authority domains. So we all hunting for Web 2 sites, good quality Web 2 sites, in order to creates Web 2 blogs. But with the subdomains on SiteWyz, you can create your own Web 2 network. Let's say if you have 100 sites, you have 100 subdomains in every blog, you can have 10,000 subdomains. And this is extremely powerful. You go to settings, enable subdomains. You saw it probably, just I briefly clicked. So enable subdomains, yes. And after that, you will see subdomain tabs. Exactly the same as in other WordPress, other Web 2 strategy. You can, so there's a bulk operation. You create a bulk create, and you can see that I have subdomains. I use it as an example so that you create on the yoga domain, you have subdomains that targeted for the long tail keywords. You see kids meditation, kids restorative yoga. And if I'll go to the kids meditation, you see that typical Web 2 blog, and the content is extremely relevant. So you can see that it's meditation, kids meditation. Again, so it's because of the integration with the rank quiz. When you post on subdomains, system picks first subdomain that matches topic used to create an article. Let's say if I use this as topics, kids meditation, kids yoga, kids acro yoga, and will post on RunQuiz subdomains, it will try first pick the subdomain that has matching keywords to the topic. So like when system will post, it will will automatically pick this subdomain for the kids meditation article and this for kids acro yoga. If you look at the kids acro yoga, it will be different from kids meditation because it has images. Kids acro yoga, the content is handled with the, and of course, it's not very big term to search by. Like kids acro yoga is not the main thing, but you can see that with the combined inside with the RunQuiz, you can build dozens and might be hundreds of extremely relevant subdomains on your PBN and use them later for either backlinking to add an authority to your root domain or simply redirecting them using 301 to redirect them to the root domain. We also have a strategy of using subdomains only strategy. So let's say your main site is somewhere else. It's a perfect yoga blog where you have traffic, but one of the way to add authority to this domain would be either post more content, but it's also if you build subdomains, relevant subdomains on the domain. Let's say I have Yoga Von as my main blog. I expect traffic. I can build dozens and dozens of subdomains with the SiteWyz, and later on either use to send links to the root domain or redirect them. You can see that enable subdomains yes, subdomains only. If I enable yes, system will not expect that main domain hosted here, but it will expect that they will handle only subdomains on SiteWyz. HTTPS and automatic email forward. HTTPS becoming more and more standard, so that Google keeps telling that, well, not Google, I should say, not Google. Everyone who's teaching SEO keeps saying that HTTPS becoming more and more important. I personally don't see that as big of a deal. I think the obsession of Google with HTTPS only to hide the search query strings so that nobody knows where the traffic's coming from. I might be wrong. But still, with the majority of sites moving to HTTPS, you don't want you to be, you want your PBN to be like look as a majority of the rest of the internet. If majority of the internet moving HTTPS, you probably need to do HTTPS as well. Up to last year, it was really expensive to do HTTPS, and actually, this was the point when Google kind of keep referring to that is probably beneficial to do HTTPS. Now, with the introduction of open source HTTPS frameworks, like that more and more hostings are now implementing the one-click HTTPS solutions. Google recently said that they not really consider HTTPS as a ranking factor, but yet I don't see the problem of why would you not, again, so as I said, I don't see that this is a major factor, but like many other hosting solutions, we implemented one-click HTTPS, so you don't need to pay, you don't need to upload, you need to deal with anything. You just do undeploy, and they enforce HTTPS, deploy, and system will redirect you to HTTPS version. So it will create a certificate, deploy it, so all technicalities will be automatically done for you. Enable email forwarding is creating email exchange record and forwarding info@domain.com to your personal email, to your profile email. Very beneficial, because let's say when you register your domains, you either enable privacy, which again many consider as a footprint. I personally don't see as a footprint. I always enable privacy for all my domains. But if you don't, or if you want to mix them, so you probably want to put some fake information. You want to use all your emails. And in one approach that SiteWyz enables is to use, let's say I created yogavon.ca. I will enable email forward. I don't need to do anything else. The the email sent to info@yoga1.ca will be forwarded to my profile email. So we do not host a mail server somewhere outside. So we consider that will be footprint. So we deploy on the server the email redirect script, so that it's pretty solid. There's no footprint solution, and it's very beneficial if you do not use privacy for your domains. So shadow domains. I run not one but several videos on shadow domains because it's completely different type of application for your expired domains. So if you go to the, if I'll go to this site, here it is. Let's say this is a local site. I use it as an example. Well, there's so you don't need to kind of examine this. It's nothing special in here. And I'll go to the site I created just today for the, here it is, I think this one. Created for the specific webinar. You can see it's exactly the same. So what it is, what shadow domain is, it's exact copy of the domain of the complete content of the site. So why would you create a shadow site? Why you create a shadow domain? First of all, to hide your backlinks. If you analyzing your competition, when you're thinking how to what the strategy to use to get up to the top, make no mistake. Once you are on the top, everyone else studying your strategy. So that's why I said that you need to hide your PBN. That's why I said you need to hide your backlinking strategy. One of them is using, so basically what's shadow site, it's exact copy that changes content. If you look at the links, you will see that if you're technical, you will see that it's exact same site, but it injects two directives in header: robots, no index, no follow, and canonical that points to the original site. Canonical says that this is a legit way recommended by Google if you run the duplicate content to tell where the original content is, and any links, anything that will be done with this page, including backlinks, will be attributed to the original site, to original source. So I hope you can see that what it means when I said that you can hide backlinks. If you look at any sites and you say, well, how they rank with no backlinks? And if you hear someone says, yeah, you can rank without backlinks, I can show you multiple examples. I can tell you, most of the cases when you see this someone's ranking for competitive keywords, it's just because they're hiding their backlinks. Redirects, 301 redirects is a great way to hide redirects. Hiding backlinks. The canonical tag is a better way hiding redirects because you're basically building backlinks to this domain, and they will be attributed to the original site. Plus, if you let's say losing the client and you want to remove all your backlinks, you just simply changing the original source of the shadow site, and all the work you've done, all the backlinks, will be quote unquote redirected to another client. How you create a shadow site, shadow domain? You go to the network sites, and you create a shadow site. So there is a label, which is name, domain, where you want to deploy it, and original domain you want to copy. So there's another application for the, again, so I'm trying to be short, there's another application for the shadow site. Let's say you have a domain, expired domain with extremely important backlinking profile. So what do you do with this? Let's say you get it to site, let's say you're lucky, and it's easy to imagine. It's not easy to actually have this, but easy to imagine that you have the domain that has backlinks from Wikipedia, from CNN, and from all other important sites. So what do you do with this domain? So that will be worth like a lot for your PBN. So you will create a PBN, you install the blog, you will post themed content, you will be doing indexing of your content. Once you see an index, you will place a link, and if essentially you will be using existing backlinking profile to power up your backlink pointing to your client site. Imagine the canonical copy site. Let's say if this domain was the one that had Wikipedia link, CNN, and all other good backlinks. So you get this domain, immediately you install the canonical copy. All of the backlinks, incoming backlinks, will be attributed to a regional source that is, as canonical tag suggests, is this domain. So you essentially, in no time, put in the power all the existing backlinks to the domain you want to link. So let's say if you're lucky to get the domain with the or if so what would it take you to get a backlink again? So this is the question I asked when they introduced this. What would it take you to get a Wikipedia link to your client? It's probably not an easy job, but once you get it and you lost the client, you probably would have to say bye-bye to your backlink. It's not easy to update link to point to another domain. With using shadow site canonical copy, so if you have incoming backlinks, you just go to the existing site, change the original site, and this is preview of the site I created. You change the original domain, and you have tons of sites open now. Another application, you can see that this is here it is. This is the site that copies a local site. Again, why would you do this? You will diversify your backlinking. If you have extremely powerful domains with a good backlinking profile, you don't need to establish PBN. You can create a canonical copy. You will use the power. You can easily change your the original source, essentially moving all your backlinks to another client. You can use it to hide your backlinks. Like, it's exactly why so many continue using 301 redirects. The only difference is the 301, it's essentially just root domain redirect. So like it's not that often people do the wildcard redirect, so that like can you build to wildcard. So in this case, you can navigate. You can see that I'm navigating to the page. It's actually the same set of pages. So you can build backlinks to any of those pages. Consider like if they are, image is broken for some reason, but you can build backlinks to any of those pages. It's like building backlinks to the original domain. So, and again, so it's the diversity of backlinks you can build is the flexibility is much greater than 301. The Google officially said that 301 loses some authority, like what they call link juice. Like in the redirect, canonical, it's exactly telling that this page is this page. It's like in the database, it's like they consider this page is absolutely like anything that happens to this page, they consider to be the page on the original site. Another application that has nothing to do with PBN, if you want to run traffic, and again, so that's definitely Grey Hat. The best, it's a great hat, so probably not even great. Look at this site, arcstandards.com. Here it is, bbc.com. And what would it take to have the lead generation pop up on any sites? You probably have seen it like one way or another, and you're wondering how people do this, how you can put your pop-up on the popular sites. So like, I mean, the strategy is nothing to do with link building. So you can run, like, I mean, let's say the simple application, you can run a Facebook ad, sending traffic to the copy of Upworthy. That's like, I mean, all of the social sites, they send a lot of traffic, expecting a lot of likes and all stuff. Use content lockers, use the lead generation pop-ups or anything else. Again, so nothing to do with the white hat link building, but it's great application of the canonical copy sites. Shadow domains, hiding backlinks. That's it. So this is basically what it was about. Shadow domains very quickly. So there are a lot of application. Lead generation, clocking. So if you're not familiar with clocking, so clocking is presenting to the visitors different type of content when you present to the actual visitor. So if I'll go to the site where I have enabled clocking, let me see. Let's put it this one way. Put this is a long tail keyword. I know that my PBN is ranking. I use it as an example for the for demonstration of lead generation. There it is. I don't know. It's not a test, but ever since I implemented clocking, this site is keep climbing up in this specific search. Every time I demonstrate it, I find it higher in the search results. I don't know if it's coincidence or not. I click on the search, and you can see not actual site, but one of my lead pages for the rank quiz. So so now back to go to implementation. Let's say if I'll go to the site and settings, you can see lead generation. I try to avoid the clocking, which is technical term, and enable lead generation. Then URL you want to show to the visitor. There are two types, either proxy or overlay, and how to show it, whether you to show to the search engine referrals or always. So always is not common. So usually it's good when someone finds your site in search engine, and instead of site, which is kind of technical, full of technical content, you show something that you want a visitor to see. If I refresh this page, well, I have now close BBC, close this.
Hey, I got to jump in just for a second, guys. We're getting a thunderstorm here, so if I drop out, somebody's going to have to, Marco or Chris is going to have to finish the webinar. Just want to let you know.
Yeah, I'm still here. The thunderstorm didn't take me out, fortunately.
You must have come to Virginia.
Well, see, there is like sometimes I see advantage of being up north. Not often. So you can you can see that like two implementation. One is a proxy. One is overlay. Overlay is you see the slide delay, and then system shows the huge iframe on the top of this. By the content, you can see still the original content. There is a proxy similar to Shadow. So when you come from the and we have implemented the check-in, whether it's a bot or real visitor, we use the Shadow. What it's called? I don't remember the database of the all bots. So we have a subscription. So we also check the agent header. So basically, we show it only to the real visitor. So the application is completely different from typical PBN. So let's say why do you do PBN? You want to rank some specific site. Let's say you have a site you use for lead generation. You said, well, it's not ranking. Let me do something to rank it higher. So you establish PBN. So like, and might be it's 50 domain, and they're all for the sake of ranking one site. Of course, you use it for different sites, but for this specific site, you need that much of the power. Consider a different scenario. So you establish 50 domains, and you make a lot of posts on them for the long tail keywords, all possible keywords, and to dominate SERP for the long tail keywords. Wherever you go, it's not only one side that you're hoping to rank, but there's like this is as I showed you. This is my test PBN, and it wasn't. I didn't do anything for it over a year, might be even longer. But it's still ranking for over 100 keywords, long tail keywords, bringing like combined over 100 visitors a day. And now I'm thinking, I can use this somehow. Like, of course, I'm not thinking this. I'm just testing the system, or I can enable lead generation. So instead of driving this traffic to somewhere else, I will show this lead generation pop up to actual visitors, and like users click. Let's say you dominate SERP for the specific keywords, you click on every site, and it brings you to the same nice looking sales page, and you can drive traffic. So this is lead generation. Comments coming soon. So I've been thinking how to implement comments long time. So we finally have a solution. So one of the indication of the live site, and there's a lot of proof that Google really takes it into consideration, is the comments. And of course, enabling comment, like whether it's WordPress or like any other site, is not a big deal. But you're not going to get anything valuable but spammy comments. So now we, with an integration with the RunQuiz, looking to collect based on the relevancy the comments from Discuss, and on schedule posting them on sites. If you have a site, so we kind of have it halfway testing. Like if I enable comments on my yoga sites, I will have random, based on the configuration, comments, relevant yoga comments, posted on my yoga blogs. That will bring more of the live, more of the Google bots to the site. And another direction where SiteWyz will go into the specialty sites. As I said, that one of the indication of the good site is when you look at the site and say why it exists. So if it's a blog, so there are a lot of questions, but if it's, let's say, image sharing site, doc sharing sites, local directories, a lot of other specialty sites that when you look into, you'll say, well, yeah, this site exists because someone wants to do, let's say, video sharing. So the one of the coming extension for SiteWyz will be for local directories. So we will allow to create local directories, populate them with the local content, and run them for business. Plus, again, so would it be the actual local directories all look alike local directories? So when someone opens local directory, that this is the site everyone wants to have a link from, and nobody question why it exists. This is the best. This is the best you can get from your PBN. If anyone who manual reviews your PBN says, well, okay, that's a local listing of plumbers. So okay, I know why site exists. So this will be an extension for SiteWyz. So, well, that's pretty much all. So we have questions. If any questions you have, I'm happy to answer. But before I compile the most typical questions to answer them, because I answer them all the time. Crawling bots, block or not? Majestic Ahrefs. As I said, I strongly believe that you have to block your bots, because the risk of PBN being busted and manually kind of reported is by far outpower the risk of Google telling that it's weird to have sites blocking bots. Like, honestly, when I was running my own network of the sites, actual sites, so I always was blocking anything except Google and Bing. So why would I need to have Majestic crawling my site? And especially those the bots that do not respect throttling. So they're really just killing the resources of your site. So I don't think it's an indication of the blog network or PBN if you blocking crawling bots. Google Analytics, a webmaster. So it's again a general recommendation: never run Google Analytics, because you can tell if the site belongs to, as per Google knows that if the site belongs to the same person. I always advise to run Google Analytics webmaster. So of course you do not run to the same. You can buy PVA Google email Gmails, and it doesn't take a long time to register. So you can put the code in. So you might never go back and visit your webmaster or analytics. But remember, with the rank brain, it's really important for Google to see your traffic. It's not any longer Google's concern. It's our concern to show Google that there is a traffic. If your PBN is ranking and brings some visitors, and you have no Google Analytics installs, so that, well, that's your loss. PBA and backlinking or not, there are a lot of, like, I've seen some kind of extreme examples of these statements when someone says you will never backlink your PBN because you will kill it. You only will kill it if you do low quality backlinks. Why do you get expired domains? Because they have existing backlinks. So of course, if you start spamming it with the bad quality backlinks, average, if there is aggregated value of all backlinks, it will go down. But if you're not building backlinks, so you first of all, you break natural link velocity. Second, the backlinks will be dropping out slowly over time, so bringing the overall value of your backlinking profile down. And I'm not going here like into interlinking, but I'm a huge fan of interlinking with your networks. Not only you do it from your Web2 up to the PBN, up to the money site, but you also do it other way around, including the different SEO properties. So you need to interlink all the relevancy and contain it within the network. Use homepage links or not. So again, there's a definite benefit of using homepage links. It's also the main factor that someone can report your PBN quickly. So if you have time, build the more content. You can grow 30 pages within your domain, not home pages. And one example I always use is geo-targeted PBN. Instead of doing dental PBN, instead of doing lawyer PBN, instead of doing all possible trade type of PBNs, you'll create a geo-targeted PBN. Let's say I'll do Toronto PBN, and I will post on the homepage all the Toronto events. It's still half of the relevancy for what I need to rank Toronto businesses. And I will create a category, and the pages for the category will become the authority pages for specific trade. So I didn't cover this, but RankWiz has the option to customize category page. Let's say if I'll go to the category page, I can post more of the title, description, because generic category page is just another blog roll, but you can post more of the content. And if I'll go to, let's say, if I'll go to this yoga site, this is where I have an example. Let's say the customized category page, you can turn it pretty much into the custom content that at the end, at the bottom, has a blog roll. And you can create the same with your geo-targeted PBN. You can see that customized. Not only we have customized category page, we also have the dynamic shortcodes working here. So we have everything to make the category page your main authority for the specific trade. And once you have, instead of having 10 blocks PBN for dentist and 10 blocks PBN for lawyer, you can create 50 blocks PBN for Toronto, and have a category for dentists and have a category for plumbers. That will be the one PBN for all of your local clients. network structure, and again, so it's goes to tiers and interlinking. So typical structure, like you can see it like in 90% of the examples of the network, the main side, the money side, below PBNs, below like Web2s, considering Web2s are low quality, and after that, like all like usually marked as a like GSA. Like, I mean, not to say that GSA is bad links, but usually like when you run it on a big scale, because they're not contextual. So in fact, you will get the as much advantage if, let's say, you backlink your good authority Web2s from your PBN. If you backlink your backlinks of your PBN, so basically interlinking, will create a huge network, huge interlinking, again, contain all the authority inside. So there are a lot of rumors that Google will reset soon backlinking profiles for expired domains. I absolutely, well, I'm not absolutely, but I don't think so. It's technically extremely challenging to put a timestamp on any backlink to say that it relevant up to this point, not relevant up to that point. I don't think Google will ever reset a backlinking profile, and especially true with this new direction after Penguin 4, when they said we're just going to ignore them. So we don't see the value, we're going to ignore them. So, and those are questions that I usually answer. So how to get help. So we have online chat. So if we have 30 days free account, you can log in and create 30 days free account. You can do everything except deploying on hosting. You can create the site. You can see how the site looks, how you customize. This is online help that we answer. So that those power-ups, you can see they all come with the support, chatting with the visitors. And so we have quick start videos. So how to deploy. So by the way, so Bradley just recently posted a video of how to quickly index site by creating the video map. Video sitemap. SiteWyz automatically create a video sitemap for every site from the all posts you made, so you don't even need to. There is a simple pattern of the video sitemap.html that is you can use for any site. Of course, they all use RSS too. So we have a blog where we have mix of videos, more of the theoretical videos for these different strategies, and there are as many SiteWyz videos as RunQuiz videos, and YouTube channels where they're like several times more. And dedicated account manager is the program we run with the RunQuiz, but usually if you have both accounts, so we do SiteWyz setup as well. So we just recently finishing moving the 200 blogs from WordPress to SiteWyz. Helping the user to migrate everything is pretty much done. So we help migrate. We have help setting up and everything. And of course, the discount, the mastery discount, it's up for 24 hours, 20% off any plan. So you can, as I said, you can take advantage of it, because unlike RunQuiz, so for RunQuiz, for the obvious, like we have reasons why we do not refund RunQuiz, but SiteWyz is different. 30 days free refund, no question asked. So if you want to take advantage of the discount, you can register now, sign up, and not happy within 30 days. So we refund all the payments. So it's in our refund policy. So that's basically the everything for the webinar. So if any questions I can ask, or
yeah, we have some questions. If you switch back over to the webinar page, Pavel, you should be able to read the questions in the dashboard yourself instead of me trying to read them to you. There's only a handful, so.
Yep. Okay. Yep. If this code good for both RunQuiz and SiteWyz, so that's a different systems, but yeah, we have code on both. It's the same mastery, and For specifically for this webinar, I enabled again the mastery code for RunQuiz. So yeah, right now we have this code active on both systems.
Yeah, guys. So just in case you missed out on that from last week when we sent out the offer and with the 20% coupon, then Pavel said he'd open that back up for today for another 24 hours for RunQuiz as well. So if you haven't used it yet and you were interested in it, go do it now while you still have time.
Any good PBN you guys recommend if I don't want to deal with settings up my and I would rather pay per monthly posts? You'd be surprised if you're not here, so that I would say, yeah, I would recommend still using SiteWyz, as I said. So we help set up. We have everything, automatic backlink and automatic posting. So you can see it's in action, and only then you can say that it still takes too much of your time to run it. So we have, by the way, we have things that I missed reports. If you want to see, if you have, if you're running, let's say, report if you're running PBN for your client and you want to remove your links, you create a report with the exact link or a domain, and you'll see all posts easily to update. I got excited. Okay, so can you build backlinks to shadow domains? Well, that's exactly the point. You build backlinks to shadow domains. Nobody ever discovered backlinks. It's exactly as there are multiple scenarios. One is that, well, once your client is gone, all your effort is gone. So not only someone reveals your domain, but it's kind of buffer where you do not lose the authority. So you create the complete copy of the client domains. You build backlinks. Visually, nothing happens. So you don't even need to, by default, all the shadow domains are no index, no follow. So basically, you don't need to, unless you need to, if you know what you do, you need to change the configuration. So we mark it so that those pages will never index. And every backlink you build to the shadow domain will be attributed to the client. So technically, you dropped out, the client dropped out, you stop, you shut down your shadow network. So you removed all links from your client, everything. So you don't need to kind of think. That's exactly why people, as I said, do 301 redirects to have control over the links.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. We've been teaching for a couple of years now that that's one way that we've essentially I'll clone a client site and then 301 redirect on a page by page basis to the client site. So from my domain to the client site, and then I build backlinks to my domain so that I can remove those redirects if the client decides they don't need me anymore. I never thought to do it with a no indexed shadow domain, which was essentially I cloned the site already, but instead of having to go in and set up all those individual page redirects, I could have just done what you did, which was a no index, and then set the canonical tag, and that would have solved the problem. And so that's a more efficient way to do it, no doubt.
We had it up for several months, and there are a lot of interest. There are a lot of shadow domains created for this reason. So I have a confirmation that it's working well from our clients. And again, so you search for cross-domain canonical tag if you're looking for more technical details. If you think that you don't trust us coming up with something too fishy, there's a term for this cross-domain canonical tag. So Google recommends it to use if you have a duplicate content.
Yeah, and your cross-domain canonical tag was developed by Google in I think 2012. So
it's new. It's not new. It's not new.
It's old. It's been around forever, and it's Google's own data from their own blog or instructions saying that that's what you're supposed to do when you have very similar content on a different domain, is to set up a cross-domain canonical. So
you go and if any interested to search how to hide your backlinks. Mm-hmm. So you probably will find sooner or later you'll come across the recommendation to use the canonical copy.
It's exactly what Google does when you map your own domain to Google Sites.
Yep.
So that you use their CMS. Google does it. I mean, by default, they add the canonical from sites.
That's a good point. Good
The domain.
I need you guys to synchronize with your knowledge base, so that might give some idea, a combined idea for us to move to add to the.
All right, there's a few more questions in there, Pavel, if you don't mind.
Sure, absolutely.
Like the next one I see was from Salmon.
Dude, how do you help with managing links to many sites? If there a way to visually monitor that site and link into what target networks view? No. Well, as I said, it's probably somewhat an answer, this report. Let's say if you spend time building links to your client, you want to find all the links, you create a report, you say, hey, show me all sites that are linking to client, assuming that Huffington Post your client, so you'll find all the posts linking up there. There's no better way, like in terms of like some kind of visual representation of how your site linked to the client. I can't even think it should be, because if it would be like, so if you want to check if all of your PBNs are linking to the client sites, I understand this is kind of those diagramming works when you do like with the mass web tools or any other sites when you want to see the structure of the campaigns. But I guess in any way that there's no visual representation for this. Although like everything you see in SiteWyz developed by user ideas. I'm not saying that if you talk to me you will find so that I'm really liking all of those challenges, and we implement a lot of functionality based on the user needs. Can you explain why having a unique RunQuiz CMS is not as obvious footprint, or you are suggesting it doesn't matter? I'm not saying that RunQuiz CMS is an advantage over WordPress CMS. So when we created the RunQuiz, the idea was to mimic different CMSs, and the templates you see, we have WordPress templates, we have Joomla templates, but that was an idea. It's like while looking into this, I'm kind of thinking I do not believe that we fool Google into thinking that we are running WordPress sites. Probably the better answer is that I don't think it matters. I don't think RunQuiz CMS in any way inferior to WordPress. From Google's standpoint, in fact, if you search for a list of CMS, there will be hundreds and probably different CMSs. Consider RunQuiz one of them. So it's I'm not as I said, so that there is a belief that too many the dominance of one CMS is a footprint, not specific CMS, but dominance of one. But even when I said this, I mentioned that I personally not subscribe to this idea, so that having one CMS is the terrible thing. But just if you believe into this, if you want to diversify your PBN and you're looking to have for HTML sites, so that might be benefit. You'll see this as a benefit for running SiteWyz.
Can I add what I see?
Sure.
Because what I'm seeing is what you're adding is first of all, you're lessening the footprint through all of the different things that you can do to the domain, which most people don't even bother with. So when you're taking all of these extra steps to hide that footprint or to lessen it, because you can never hide it 100%, but the smaller that you make it, the less likely it is that you're going to trigger any filters. And right now, what happens is the more that you trigger filters, the more likely it is that you're going to trigger some kind of penalty, linked evaluation, or maybe even a manual coming your way. So this way, if you lessen the footprint, you lessen triggering the filters. That's what makes it effective. It's not that it's better. It's just that it makes RunQuiz a little bit more unique than anything else that you could use for your domains, for your link network. That's how I see this.
It's a good point, because when you compare this system, like one CMS versus another CMS, they're usually all non-optimized for PBN. So then there's a steps you need to follow to get it to the best results. Let's say if you do WordPress, there are a lot of plugins, and you go to any course that teaches PBN, you'll see that exact steps you follow, or like you go to the something that will just tell you step by step how to best of it. And in fact, there are a lot of people really concerned with all the steps, doing something wrong and all stuff. So in this case, we take the responsibility to make it the best for PBN. Like, I mean, you probably don't have, not probably, we never aim to have flexibility of WordPress, but we started with like, what do you need for PBN, right? So you need to have for PBN all of those kind of factors, and we build it in the system. They all by default. So when you set it up, so like then there is some flexibility. But as I said, so like we moved someone's network over a weekend, 200 sites from existing WordPress with pretty much no time spent, and that's the main advantage of SiteWyz. If you have your domains, you can establish sites literally like in a day, populate the content, and start taking advantage of it.
All right. I've only got about 10 minutes, guys, because I've got another appointment here. So I've got a couple questions back. If you scroll back up, Pavel, and take a look at some of the ones that just came in a few minutes ago and answer those. If you don't mind, guys, I'd like to wrap it up in the next 10 minutes.
Well, can we build PBN with new domains? So it's not recommended. The whole advantage of the PBN, how it started, is to take advantage of pre-existing backlinking profile. So like consider like the steps you need to get an authority to niche authority to the domain. So you get a new domain, let's say Toronto Dentists, and you start posting relevant content. You need good backlinks. And so if you have access to all local directories, you have the newspapers, might be community pages, and you're willing to spend several months building up naturally, it's one way. But the existing the drop domains or the bought from auction domains, it's exactly the shortcut, because you might find domains that used to be the dentist site in the local niche, and all of a sudden you find that they already have a good number of links from the niche relevancy site, from the local community sites and all the stuff. There is a variation of this strategy, which I think is becoming quickly the main strategy. Instead of building this on expired domains, so you register your network of the new domains and you run expired domains to path authority to your PBN. I will just make it very quickly. Toronto, no. You might find that I have an affection with the niche, Toronto Dentist. But let's say this is site. Again, so there's nothing wrong. I'm going to do this, even if it's the site you're doing promotion. But you would expect, as in many sites, local site, many site over and over, you would expect to find that they use PBN. And let me log in. I'll try to make it quick. So what many do, like especially when you consider, so that concern that having, let's say, the rep domains, if you're concerned that might be expired domains will be considered that not as good as new domains. So if I search, I don't search ascending, but like second page of the sites, they even host it all on the same IP. And look at the names: Misteen, Nappin Falls, Misteen Peel, Misteen North Ontario, Misteen Nova Scotia, Misteen Bradford. they all even host it on the same IP. Like that is good argument towards the kind of debunking that you must have. But what they have, they build their own PBN, geo-targeted PBN out of new domain, utilizing the like names that would suggest that, yeah, that's created to kind of promote like random teen posts from Toronto, and they used massive expired domains network to quickly build authority of your new domains. So you can do this if, let's say, you're looking to use new domains. I think it's a very good strategy. But essentially, if you build just new domains, you will not get any advantage of the pre-existing backlinking profile. So it's much easier to find decent expired domains and build on this. But as I said, this is a huge strategy. I've seen it several times. Like you can create geo-targeted, as I said, Toronto network with a fresh domain, fresh content. As I said, you can do it with new domains if you get good backlinks. And good backlinks you can get from PBN.
All right, we got to go through a lightning round here. There's a couple more that I'm going to fire off at you, Pavel, if you don't mind. One that Mike reposted from earlier, so it must be important. He says, can you specify the country or area within the country of the IPs?
Well, what we have, of course, you don't have a country of a country. We have preferred region. So if I'll go to the account settings, you will see the preferred region, and we have North America, Europe, Asia. As I said, the algorithm selects the server random from the network going in sequence, like the unique A class, unique B class, unique C class, and it guarantees within the network they will be unique. But if you choose the preferred region, let's say Europe, the system will pick first all Europe servers, and when you run out of unique Europe servers, they'll give you another service. So let's say if we have 40 Europe servers and you have like less than that network, so all sites will be hosted in Europe. So we'll have a pretty big chunk of American and Europe, and not as many Asian servers. So like if we have, you can select the preferred region, and the server will be in your region.
Very good. We got three more I'm going to fire off at you. Let's see. The next one is the code good for recurring monthly fee or just for one time?
Recurring, yeah, it's recurring.
Recurring, guys. Yeah. It's a 20% off recurring. The next one is, Jamie says, as I grow, can I easily upgrade to the next level?
Yeah, you can. You can upgrade and downgrade. Well, like happens that you might choose the plan that bigger than you need, and if you grow, we don't care over discounts. So it means, like, I mean, if you get a good discount, so you don't really next time, but I still think, like, I mean, so like it's so we'll work it out. So I would say that, yeah, so you should not be concerned about upgrading as you go. So we have on our upgrade page, we have plans for, oh, that's not that. We have plans for 10, 25, 50, and 100 sites. And you can see the number of features. Like some of them are the same. Let's say number of subdomains are different based on the plan. That's why I use the 100 and 100. So we have rank tracker. We have uptime. I didn't show like even uptime monitor, like, but it's classical, like you see it like everywhere. Uptime monitoring. So we have all metrics. I showed this content scheduling. So this is all in here, and we have heating plans for 200, 300, and 500 sites.
Awesome. All right, just the last one, guys, because I got to go. This Dawn asks, when will the directories and specialty sites be available?
Well, directories implementation are done, so we we already have an option to create directories, but it's not good unless we have everything related to directory. It might be some plugin you said, hey, populate the directory for me. Like, I mean, I want to create a directory for the, let's say, electricians in Ontario. And of course, we will have the real power if you can tell, like, build a directory. Like if you can scrape, let's say, Yelp and Yellow Pages to combine all the information you find, and all of a sudden you have directory. I don't expect it will be long. So, and the first implementation is up and running, but it's not open for public yet. So it might be within a month.
Very cool. Well, Pavel, I want to tell you thank you once again for an amazing presentation. Pat posted just a moment ago, this guy has a sick understanding of SEO. Love it. and that's why we brought you back on, because after your webinar last week, I was really super impressed with your knowledge of SEO. And so I'm really glad we had you back, and we'll probably have you on again if you don't mind, because apparently our audience really likes your presentations.
Well, we can cover, like, when you guys have time, we can cover integration of RunQuiz and SiteWyz, because obviously, like when you go to the site in SiteWyz, when I said create new post, and you see the kind of UI where like you enter title, and so of course you get it in the mass scale when you enable it with integration with RunQuiz. I just briefly touched that we have all the mappings based on the topic I showed you, so that like kids meditation content posted in a subdomain, or like, so all of the advanced mapping, so the all will, and especially now with the lead generation, when you don't really need to do all of this, and you don't need to question whether it's SiteWyz sites are good enough to show users. Like, you don't need to, like, I mean, if you enable lead gen or like overlays, so you can rank your network, and we can show how with the combining the using relevancy stacking, that's the RunQuiz way of generating content and building lower tier backlinks using exact same topics. If you use the first tier topic article using kids meditation, and you send it in RunQuiz for the second tier, so the system passes not only URL to backlink but topics. The top link was created, so that you will see the extreme relevancy stacking. So the lower article will be again on the kids meditation. Awesome. So, and that will create the power of relevancy.
That's really cool. So, all right, well, that's it. We'll have you back at another time, Pavel. Again, everybody, go check it out. masterypr.com/SiteWyz. Use Mastery as the code for 20% off. That's also will work for RankWiz as well for the next 24 hours in case you missed out on that. Once again, Pavel, we really appreciate you being here. And Marco and Chris, if you're still on, thanks for sticking around, guys.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Later, man.
All right, guys. See y'all.
Yep. Bye.